EV insurance. What's going on here? Quick disclaimer, I'm not an insurance agent or expert or anything like that. I'm just doing my own research for my new Model Y that's coming in a few days, and I thought you might find it interesting. Over the last year or so, I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook and so on that have gone, oh, what's everybody's getting for their insurance quote? And people are coming in, I'm getting 500, and somebody else goes, well, that's not fair, I'm getting 1,500. But that's all they're saying. They are saying nothing about excess, location, experience, and so on. So let's just iron out. I've gone through 8 different insurance companies online to get an insurance quote. And we can see there is a massive difference between the quotes for literally the same value of car and so on. First up, I'm going to go through an application online with this one will be the RAC of Western Australia, and then we'll get a result on that, and then we'll go through some of the other ones that I've tried. So here we go. So here we are in the RAC Western Australia website. We're going to click on car and then get a quote. So we're going to enter some details. I'm going to have to search for the car. So Tesla is always scroll all the way down to the bottom. Year, well, it's a brand new one. Model Y. Body type, yeah, okay. And manual or automatic. I don't know why it doesn't autofill this. Some of them have. When I've gone in, I've said Tesla 2022 Model Y, it's gone bang and filled them all out. So I have not got the performance, I've got the rear wheel drive. What do I use this car for? Private. How many kilometers? So I'm choosing up to 20,000 and see how we go. Now I'm going to put in my suburb. This will be greyed out for you. And my car is not financed. So now we'll continue. I am male. I'll enter my date of birth, and that will be greyed out because I don't want you to know that I am really very, very old. It's my middle name after all. So yeah, we're a member of the RAC, which gets us an extra discount. Gold member. I'm not going to give my email address. Number of years you've held a license. Well, actually, it's well over 50, but it doesn't have that option in there. Then you go through the usual. You've got to have answer all these questions honestly and accurately. And most of these are in the past 3 years or 5 years. One of them, I think, was 2 years. I haven't had my driving license or had an accident cancelled or had an accident. Now I'm also going to, on all of these, I've added another driver, which is my wife. So I'll just put in her details, and she's been a very safe driver. So then we go and click get a quote, and it comes up with a figure. Now we need to do some adjusting here. As you can see here, this will allow you to vary the agreed value. And this is where people get screwed up. They just go agreed value and leave it at that. But a lot of places, when they come up, it's not agreed value, it's market value. And that is always a lot less. So I've been putting these in at 91,000. Now the reason for that is the car cost 79,000 and some hundred. I'm putting on enhanced autopilot, which is 5,100, so that takes it up to 85,000, and then I'm having some protection film put on it, and that is about six and a half thousand. So $91,000. I want a hire car after accident because it may be the only car we've got. And if we do have an accident, I wouldn't mind having no claims bonus protection there. That it's only about $50 odd a year. Yeah, $54 for the year. So here we've got a final result. I'm going to start it when I get the car, which is the 12th of September. So if we look at this, we get RAC, we get a membership discount of 10%, and we get the first year online discount of $100. So you can add back on that 100 to this figure, and then the 10%, I think that they drop that a little bit. But all up, most of these places do a certain dollar figure or percentage discount on the first year. You lose it on the second year. As I've said, I've included a hire car and no claim bonus protection. Now the excess, and this is where a lot of other places do tend to stuff up. Some of them had a basic excess of $1,300. This one, the excess is currently set at $600. So I've done two quotes. We look here, $860.76 for a $600 bonus excess. If I go to $1,250, it drops it down to $714.59. So that's a saving of about $146, give or take a bit. And you can do this monthly. But all up, that's pretty damn reasonable. We've got the Model Y, brand spanking new, and you can insure it for between $750 and $800, depending upon what you make the excess. Now that's me, for my age, my driving qualifications, and so on. It will be different to you. So once again, as I say, do your own research. So as you've just seen, I'm going to put the figures up here. The RAC gave me two figures. The excess of $600 was $860.76, and for an excess of $1,250, it was $714.59 for the year. And as I said, that was for me and the wife as a named driver, value $91,000 at my address. Now I've entered these almost exact same figures into 7 others. So the first one, NRMA. Computer says no, they would not insure Tesla. Useless idiots. Then I went on to AMI, AAMI, and their quote, their excess was $1,300. That's all I could do. And they gave something like an $80 discount on the first year, $1,706.21. Now that is almost double what the RAC quoted. And in fact, it's well over double if you look at a similar excess. I don't understand how they can do this. APIA, Australian Pensioners Insurance Agency. Because I'm a pensioner, you know, because I'm grumpy and I'm old. So for an excess of $600, $1,380.52. For an excess of $1,250, it was $1,174.77. So that's still a hell of a lot higher. SGIO, excess $1,500. When as you saw on the RAC one, there was a slider and I could control it down to the 100. With SGIO, it had 3 or 4 set amounts and that was it. $1,500 excess was $1,315.16. For an excess of $550, it was $1,610.68. Once again, it's almost double. And the interesting thing was SGIO, when you went in to do the quote, the URL at the top had NRMA in it. Weird. Yui, they're advertising quite heavily. This person saved $354 insuring with Amy. Well, bullshit. They are one of the most effing expensive insurance people around. I entered all the same details, except I could only insure for a maximum of 86,800. That was all they would allow. So for an excess of 600, $1,925.52. What the fuck? And for an excess of $1,250, it was $1,504.36. That is way over double what the RACWA quotes. That is just pathetic. Allianz. I always used to have my insurance, car insurance and house insurance through Allianz, but then that was when I went through a broker. For an excess of 700, $1,253.12, and for an excess of 1,500, $1,068.45. That's still 50% up on RACWA. The second best quote that I could find was with budget car insurance. For an excess of 650, once again the slider would only accept certain figures. So excess 650, $1,126.40. And for an excess of 1250, $870.66. So that was just about the second cheapest. I know a lot of people have gone with budget because they didn't like the RAC, but you've got to look. They said, oh, it was a lot cheaper. But if you just go through the budget website, it will automatically come up with market value. Now, I'm not an insurance agent or an insurance expert, but to me, market value means they're going to give you the least amount they possibly can get away with. Whereas agreed value, that's the figure that they will pay, give or take a bit. So when I did initially with budget, it was about $100 or $200 lower until I changed it to agreed value, and then it skyrocketed. So what can we learn from this? Insurance companies like to rip you off, is my opinion. I'm going with the RACWA. That's what I've got my Model 3 insured with at the moment. And they're the best quote that I could see when I went through these 8 companies. And as a little exercise, I just had a look at my Model 3, which is a 2019 version with 63,000 on the clock. If anybody wants to buy it, it is for sale. Make me an offer. That came in with an excess of $600 at $1,456.95, with an excess of $1,250, $1,216.79. Now that was an agreed value of $63,700. If I got a new Model 3 with an agreed value of $75,000, the excess of $600 dropped it about $240 to $1,210. So it's about 50% more to insure a Model 3 that is cheaper to buy than a Model Y. Please explain, somebody. I've got no bloody idea how they dream up these figures. So that's the story. As I said, I'm going with the RAC. Not an advice. You do your own research, please. And remember, when you're comparing insurances, you've got to compare like with like. So for me, as you notice, I had 2 named drivers, me and the wifey. We have not had any points or anything like that. I did the same agreed value across all of them. I maintained a no claims bonus protection. If I could, I ticked windscreen replacement. I got a hire car whilst the car would be off the road getting fixed. Some of them had a very limited hire car arrangement. And it would be, you'd only get it for 2 weeks maximum, and they'd only allow you $50 a day or something pathetic. You've got to compare postcode with postcode, because just changing your address can have a massive difference on the insurance. Mine is also garaged. I'm retired, and I put it in at under 20,000 Ks a year. So when you're comparing quotes, make sure you compare like with like. Alrighty, there you go. I hope you found that helpful. Please don't forget, like and subscribe. You know the routine by now, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you very much.